everybody. It's Miss Cindy's Kitchen, back from quite a bit of a hiatus. Life kind of bit us in the backside and it took us a while to get rolling again. But tonight I'm going to show you my version of the Mexican dish Migas. Because we happen to have some corn tortillas that were getting kind of dried out in the fridge and needed to be used up. So first we're going to fry the tortillas. And then we're going to add in our vegetables. I have got 2 kinds of onion. These are in the freezer. And this bell pepper hitched a ride. So I have a little bit of everything in this bowl actually. But we have 2 types of onions that need to be used up. And some bell peppers that I chopped up. These are the salad bell peppers, the little small ones. We had a whole bunch at one point, so I froze them. And now I just chopped them up. And a few months ago, a friend blessed us with a ton of avocados. So I peeled them, cut them, and put them in the freezer. And so I just thawed them a bit and chopped them up. And we've got 2 kinds of pico de gallo. And some Monterey Jack cheese.
Nice.
And eggs, of course.
Some eggs.
So, what we're going to do first is turn on the stove. That's always a good place to start. And just whatever cooking oil you like to use. I had someone ask me once what salad oil was because they were looking at an old recipe. Salad oil is basically whatever all-purpose oil you use to make food. So, that's basically the definition of salad oil.
Okay.
You can use olive oil, canola, vegetable oil. Some households use corn oil. It's whatever floats your boat. Well, I don't think it would float a boat actually, but... So, first we're going to dump in the tortillas. And this will take probably about 5 to 10 minutes to thoroughly get them cooked and crispy. So we're going to pause while that happens, and then we'll bring you back when we add the eggs. And we've been cooking these for about 5 minutes. And as you can see, they're getting dried out and crispy with little bits of golden brown on them. They're almost where we want them. So we're going to cook them a couple more minutes, and then we're going to add the eggs. I cracked 10 eggs and scrambled it with some milk. So basically this is a dinner you can throw together with whatever vegetables you have in the freezer. If you see that something needs to be used up or you're going on vacation, you can just freeze it. And what I find works best is to freeze things in a single layer on like wax paper or something. And then once it's frozen, scoop it all off into a Ziploc bag so it's easier. So something doesn't freeze all in a clump. But avocados, they freezed well. The bell peppers, onions. You know, it's time to rotate some stuff out of the freezer. So I decided to do just that. So
does freezing the vegetables, I mean, does it change the consistency or anything?
It does. But it's more noticeable when the food is raw, but not as much as when it's cooked into a recipe. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start with, we go ahead and add the vegetables so they can heat up. So this is the onion.
Okay.
And the bell peppers. It's just a rough chop of the small bell peppers. And I just cored them before I put them in the freezer.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a guard dog that's scared of the dark, so she's barking at the shadow she sees outside.
Isn't that right?
Yup. So then...
So you stirred that up a little bit?
Stirred it up. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic. Keep away the vampires. This garlic, garlic and onion are in the Alamician family. They're really good at promoting health and wellness, which is why a lot of people prefer soup and chicken soup when they're sick, especially with a lot of onion and garlic. So we're gonna let this dry out a little bit, and then we'll bring you back when we add the eggs.
Well, before we bring, can we talk about why we've been going for so long?
Well, let me tell you. We have a minivan, a 2019 Dodge Grand Caravan from hell.
Yeah.
We call her Murphy. Most vessels of transport are called female names. So Murphy is the most polite name we can call it because, like Murphy's Law. So if you see a new car purchase in your future, do not go with the Dodge or anything in the minivan family that Dodge is behind, or Chrysler.
Yeah, well, our other van worked really nice.
Yes, we have had to replace the transmission a year and a half ago, and then we've replaced most of the major components. It still has a bad catalytic converter, and basically half my take-home pay goes to supporting the van. Some people have drug habits. My van makes me broke keeping it on the road, but I can't really get rid of it yet because we still owe the bank for it.
Yeah.
So.
And then we also had to replace our dishwasher.
Yeah, we replaced the dishwasher. We were fortunate enough to go to a closeout liquidation store, and we got a brand new Bosch for just over $200 with tax.
Yeah.
It had a dented handle, and a friend of ours from church who installed it for us fixed the handle. And then, because we didn't have enough going on as it is, my mom fell last month, and I had to go up and spend the first half of March with her. But she's doing really well now, so that's good. And ultimately, she's going to move closer to us because she realizes care here is a much better value than care up north where she's at. So.
And that looks like it's coming along pretty good.
Yeah. So kind of like when you make fried rice, you just scoot all the goodies over to the one side and then add your eggs. And I'm just going to add a smidge more oil over here.
So why do you do that?
Because there's residue on the pan from the other stuff.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure the eggs don't stick.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
So I'm going to let that oil heat up. And apparently when oil heats up to the right temperature, it's called a shimmer. And it's wet vegetables in a hot pan. Okay, I think it's ready. Alright, so we're going to dump the eggs in the skillet. And cooking isn't an exact science. If you have an idea and you have random ingredients, you can often throw something together. So even though this isn't exactly the classical migas, it's inspired by. And it's my version using ingredients that I have on hand. And oftentimes, if you have random bits of vegetables, make an omelet, make a skillet dinner. You know, use things up rather than throwing them away. I mean, composting is good, but if you can salvage your vegetables, you know, don't throw them away. So we're going to let that cook. And then toward the end, we're going to add in the avocado. It looks a little weird because it was frozen. And between freezing it and the oxidation, the texture is a little different. It's more creamy and cold, like a soft creamy rather than a firm creamy that avocados normally are. So I'm going to throw in some garlic salt.
More garlic.
Garlic salt, yes. That's one of my favorite basic seasonings. I'm just going to mix it all together, mainly because the vegetables are getting too hot on this one side. That's basically it. You cook up the tortillas and the vegetables, and then you mix it together with your eggs. And again, you know, I saw a book title while I was gone. It said, "Don't worry, just cook." And you know, so many people intimidate themselves out of cooking because they think it's going to be hard, or it has to be just right, or they have to follow a recipe just so. You know, just make food for yourself. Make food for your family. You know, we're not being graded on this. We're just feeding our family. And this is our version of migas. It's just something we can throw together after a work day with the ingredients that we have. And I'm gonna dump, we like avocados.
Yes, we do.
And these need to be used up. So, just gonna use those up. Ooh. Nice and goopy. I have a dog watching me with the most doe eyes. She smells food and she loves watching me cook. Dahlia, out of the kitchen. Go. Good girl.
Yeah, she just circled and come back right away. Out. Thank you. That actually is really good.
Yeah. So while the avocados heat through, I'm going to put on some cheese.
Oh, cheese.
This is just Monterey Jack cheese. You can use any kind of cheese you want. The Mexican cheese, cotija cheese,
Colby Jack.
Colby Jack, whatever cheese you have on hand. Don't overthink it, it's just food. I should patent that line, or trademark that line. You know? So it looks a mess, but it's gonna taste great.
You know what Frankenstein's favorite cheese is, right?
What?
Munster.
Munster. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's the pepper. Now I'm gonna have a dog walk in the kitchen going, "You cold?" We have a dog named Pepper. So we're gonna put some fresh cracked pepper on our dinner. And
Now this is just, again, this is just something you throw together, right? You don't have a recipe or anything, you just...
it's inspired by classic migas. And some pico.
Ooh.
This has got the jalapenos in it.
Ooh.
So there's that. So again, don't overthink it, it's just food. And this is our version of migas. You know, the tortillas needed to be used up. I had the bell peppers and the onions in the freezer. So that's pretty much done. You know, it sometimes tastes better if you let the tortillas get even crispier. And you could always use this as a filling for a burrito.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Or you can just eat it in a bowl. And,
Like I'm gonna do.
yeah. I'll give you the avocado bowl.
Oh, good.
So, it's going to be hot, but you can still taste it. So, you can let us know how good this is. And, while you're waiting for it to cool down, just make sure you like and subscribe and leave us your feedback. And we promise you we will get back to you more often instead of letting almost 6 months go by because life kind of kicked our butts for a bit. But we're glad to be back. So, here, we'll switch.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I'll give you this.
All right. Yep.
I get to be the taste tester tonight because Logan's out of town.
Yeah. Is it hot and delicious?
This is really good.
Yeah.
I can see what you mean. It is really creamy.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Yeah.
Here.
All right. So we'll switch back. All right. Well, thank you again for joining us at Miss Cindy's Kitchen. And just make sure you subscribe and like our videos so we can come back to you more often. And we'll see you again soon.
Thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen. To get more recipes like this one, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Share it out to your friends, family, and neighbors, and leave us a comment to let us know how this recipe worked for you. And don't forget to hit that like button. Again, thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen.